Hi, good day to all my Form 4 students. Today we are here to continue on part 3 of our chapter 8, Manufactured Substances in Industry. Okay, so today we are going to mainly concentrate on composite materials. Now you have learned about alloy in part 1. You have learned about glass and ceramics in part 2 of this manufactured substances in industry, and we are going to learn on composite material. Now, see what is meant by composite material is they are formed by combining two or more non-homogeneous. Okay, so combining two or more non-homogeneous. Non-homogeneous means they have nothing to do with each other. Their properties are different. For instance, plastic and glass. Okay, so can you see plastic and glass? Like even though they are both transparent, you can say that plastic and glass, they are totally different from each other when it comes to characteristics. So that is what we mean by non-homogeneous. Another example of non-homogeneous is metal and concrete. Okay, metal and concrete. Can you see that they have the attributes and the characteristics of metal and concrete which has been going to be combined together, has nothing to do with each other. So that is what we call by composite material. Now, composite material are made up of two important parts which are called reinforced material and matrix or binder material. Okay, now, so what we meant by it is reinforced material is actually the main material which is going to be binded or combined together. But please remember, teacher don't use the word mixing. They don't chemically mix. Okay, now alloy is where two or more metals or non-metals mix together. Okay, their particles mix together. Even though not chemically, you can see that their particles are mixing amongst them. But this is what we call by combining. They don't mix chemically. We just combine. For instance, reinforced material are arranged like this, and your matrix material are binding all this reinforced material together so that they produce more strengthened characteristics. Okay, so this is the reinforced, this is the main material, and this main materials has been matrixed or bind together by a binder material. So that is what we call by composite material. Now let's go to examples. For your syllabus you have 5 important composite material. So let's go to the first one. So reinforced concrete. So this is what we call by first example is reinforced concrete made up of steel bars, metal, concrete, non-metal. Can you see that both of them have nothing to do with each other? Their characteristics is different. So that is what we call by non-homogeneous. Okay. So now, so what happens is steel bars are mixed, are combined, not mixed. That means steel bars are arranged like this and the concrete is poured all over them. Okay, the concrete is poured as a matrix material or binding material so that they can be more strengthened. Okay, so now what happens to reinforced material when it's produced is it becomes very strong, can be molded. Okay, so what happens is concrete can be molded easily thanks to the placement of steel bars, and they don't crack easily and they are resistant to corrosion. So that is the reason why reinforced concrete is used as in a construction, road building, oil platforms and also bridges. Why? Because they have steel bars which does not corrode and they have very strong concrete which can be molded accordingly thanks to the position of steel bars. So when you see, this is what we call by composite materials. Now let's go to second example, fiberglass. Okay, so fiberglass mainly made up of glass fiber which has been strengthened by the placement of plastic. So what happens is, now plastic is soft and low density, glass fiber is brittle but hard and strong. So when you combine together, not mix, mixing is different. When you combine them together without chemically changing their properties, what happens is they produce a substance which very high tensile strength. They are chemically inert. They are very good heat and electrical insulators with low density. So that is the reason why they are very useful to become water storage tanks, small boats, helmets, motor vehicle bodies, racket strings and fishing rod. Why? Because of low density, high tensile strength and so forth. Okay, so when teacher write fiberglass, that means fiberglass become the reinforced material, plastic becomes the binder material. When teacher write reinforced concrete, steel bars, okay, are the reinforced material, concrete becomes the matrix or binder material. Okay, so that's how they combine these two non-homogeneous materials together. Now let's go to third, which is fiber optic. Okay, you might be thinking they are both almost the same, but here the placement of the plastic with glass fiber has been changed. So you'll be surprised to find that their usefulness also, or their and uses also changes. What happens is, now plastic becomes reinforced material, glass fiber becomes the binder material. So what happens is, fiber optic produces a substance which is band, data transmitted can be transmitted digitally, and they have less interference of electromagnetic interference and all that. So that is the reason why, I think most of you all know that fiber optic is mainly used in telecommunications. Okay, for telephones, cables, for domestic television network, video cameras, linking, okay, LANs, local area networks, laser beam to perform surgery and all that. Okay, so one thing, fiberglass, reinforced material, fiber, main material, plastic is the binder material or matrix material. Fiber optic is plastic is the main reinforced material. Fiberglass is the binder material. So that is the two difference between both of them. And what happens is, when you swap their, who's going to be reinforced material, you will find that their uses also becomes vastly different. Right, now let's go to the next one, which is photochromic glass, where crystals of argentum chloride, silver chloride or silver bromide is embedded into glass. Okay, not chemically mixing, but they are combined or embedded into glass, where what happens is, the photochromic glass, okay, the fourth example, photochromic glass becomes very transparent, but they have a very special characteristics where they become darkened when exposed to light, thanks to the presence of argentum, silver chloride or silver bromide. So they can be, that's the reason why photochromic glass has been used as optical lenses in glasses, which is very popular, and car windshield and light intensity meters. Okay, so they can produce, check the amount of light. Okay, so that is the use of photochromic glass. Now let's go to last one, which is superconductors. Superconductors are mixture of copper 2 oxide, barium carbonate and a substance called yttrium oxide. So that is the reason why superconductors are product of YbCO. These are the elements: yttrium, barium, carbon and oxygen. So these are the four main elements that makes up superconductor. Now what happens? Superconductor conducts electricity with no resistance when at very low temperature. Okay, so that is the main advantage of superconductors. That is the reason why superconductors are used in medical magnetic imaging devices such as MRI, okay, magnetic imaging devices, generators and transformers, and also computer parts and also bullet train. Okay, so bullet train and computer parts very important. Why? Because they should be able to conduct electricity at very low temperature. So that is the reason why superconductor is very useful for bullet trains especially, and also computers. Okay, so I hope these are the last part of our manufactured substances industries. I hope the video is useful for all of you. Till then, thank you very much for watching. See you all next time. Thank you.